On day 2 of the Power Investors Summit, it was an opportunity to learn on the presentations and the transformations going on in various states who are involved in the power sector transformation and reforms. Also an opportunity to learn from the investors and how they're engaging the power sector and what their challenges may be. Also today, we get to learn the dynamics of transmission and the mechanisms involved and what is required to make it sustainable.
The federal government has come up that by 2020, 1,000 megawatts will come from renewables. And this is very new in the grid. This is very new in the country. We do not have trained people on this. So we have started to work with GIZ of Germany. The German government came to us as far back as 2009, and because they want to revolutionize the fossil fuel generation, they now encourage us and partnered with us to bring up training in renewables. Right now, as we are going on, the renewable plant is being developed in Okeke. We have as well acquired the best engineering training laboratory, electrical training laboratory in Okeke as well. It was built by a German firm, and that is the best in the west coast of Africa. We have a simulator just down the road at Ijora, which tech equipment came to install 2012, and we are started deploying them. And we have so many other simulators that are coming on board. Training simulators want to be in Kano, the other want to be in Oji. And we are doing a combined battle training simulator at AFAM in Port Harcourt, which is being handled by STEC, and that is going to be commissioned by mid of this year. And as well, government has given us 10.96 hectares of land to develop a permanent site where we are going to have school of generation, school of distribution, and school of transmission. This, we are going to get into that permanent site, relocate from where we are right now to a permanent site in Abuja by the end of this year.
Bayelsa is enormously blessed. I'm sure everyone knows, everyone in this room realizes that oil and gas was actually first identified in Okolo, Obia local government area of Bayelsa in 1956. And 2 years later, commercial production started. So if you want to say Bayelsa is the home of Nigeria in every sense of the word, because the oil and gas revenues, which today account for about 90% of our foreign exchange earnings, well, that all started from Bayelsa. At the same time, we are so blessed. People say, oh, your land is all water, but water has its values. We have creeks, rivers on the Atlantic Ocean. Thanks to our marshy land, we have the capacity to produce the best rice, both in terms of quality and quantity for the whole of West Africa. Do you want to talk about our 180 kilometers of white sandy beaches on the Atlantic Ocean? I mean, I can talk forever. Or we want to talk about the fact that Bayelsa has the largest gas reserve in West Africa. It is indeed an investor's haven. Some say it's a new state. What do they have? I say, well, why do you have a new state? A new state is a blank canvas. And a blank canvas for any businessman is the capacity and the ability to start first and make a killing. And that is what Bayelsa State offers to all potential investors. So you're looking for investment, you must think Nigeria. And if you think Nigeria, you must think Bayelsa.
My name is Habib Oniru, and the name of my company is called HDS Real Estate. We manage a piece of real estate called Oniru Private Estate, which is just around the corner. HDS Real Estate is a new company, basically. I would say we're still young in the game. Formulated in 2009, and we have a staff of about 20 professionals. Very young, dynamic, and very bullish. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about Oniru Private Estate. Okay? Oniru Private Estate, formerly known as Morocco, you can see in the pictures, in 1988, literally a slum. Population of about 300,000, and basically it was the cornerstone, basically. The kid nobody wanted to play with, okay? Nobody wanted to know about Morocco because it was the slums and they could not see the potential. Fast forwarding to 1994, my family, we started sand filling and doing a survey and started planning this slum, basically. Now, in 2014, we can boast of structures like the Sheraton, 4 Points by Sheraton. I hope the management of Intercontinental are not here. The likes of the Palm Shopping Center, PwC, one of our newest tenants, and also the British International School. I wouldn't do justice if I didn't tell you how HDS was conceived. I come from a real estate family. I was born in a real estate family, and that's all I know. HDS Real Estate basically manages the affairs of the Onuru private estates, including construction, alternative power, development, and waste management, just to list a few. Basically, we do projects for the family. This is the latest project which is completed. 22 units of fully detached homes, energy efficient, and also completed to the highest satisfaction. Not to just show pictures, we have the reality here, and this is what we can achieve with HDS Real Estate. Talking about HDS Real Estate, or talking about, you know, the Onuru private estate, so on and so forth, we need power. We need power. And instead of everybody having their own individual generators, which you never use to the fullest capacity anyway, I've been tasked by the family to centralize the power generation. This is just smarter, it's efficient, it's the way forward. I think we need to stop thinking about individuals and start thinking collectively. And I believe it's something that we can achieve, and I've been given a timeline by the office to achieve this by 2022. So I'm here standing in front of you that I need to build a team. I need a team to push Onuru to the next millennium. Because I want Onuru to become attractive to investors for a choice place to have their head office. Now I boast of Diamond Bank. We have Diamond Bank head office, we have PwC, we have Mobile in Onuru. So now, centralizing the power is my main objective, and I need to build a team.
Under gas supply, when we started the power plants, just like the country did the 10 plan that the DG talked about, nobody took the time to think that you would need fuel. So we built a power plant, and we did not have a steady fuel supply. We were dependent on what is called a best endeavor from the Nigerian gas company. So when this administration came in, we partnered with a UK firm that most of you might know here, Seven Energy. We provided the enabling infrastructure, the enabling resources, and they've come in and built a gas processing plant. So our gas is not only in the ground. We've now taken it out and processed it. We also built, in partnership with them, a pipeline, about a 68-kilometer pipeline, from where the gas is processed to where the power plant is. And today, as we speak, the gas from the pipeline is being used to power the power plant, which was one of the first IPPs in the country. Not only that, Seven Energy is also laying pipeline to supply other companies, including a cement factory in Cross River State and an NIPP project in Cross River State also. Because we have this gas infrastructure, there's so many power investors that are actually coming to see us. There's one that is planning to build a 250 megawatt. So if you want to build a power plant and you don't want gas just on the ground, you want gas that is ready, you can come to a pipe instead. On the power generation, like I said, we've already established the 190 megawatt power plants. In addition to the 190 megawatt capacity, which is currently operating at about 100 megawatts. There is a 540 megawatt power plant that was built for aluminum smelting. And the aluminum smelting is not functioning as we speak today. So we are partnering with the federal government to try to extract that power, evacuate it, and put on the national grid. We've also, because of His Excellency's vision, to build what we call the industrial city. Several companies are coming in. We are planning to build an industrial city that will require about 5,000 megawatts, that's 5 gigawatts of power. And because of this, many people are coming in, and it's an open opportunity if you want to invest in power. You can come in there in the industrial city where there will be great demand and build a power plant. You can also come in and partner with TCN to build a transmission line.
Now, the power sector reforms is getting bigger. We're seeing privatization of distribution companies and now the power stations. Now, how is Bayelsa playing into this whole transformation?
Well, I think Bayelsa understands that there's so much effort being carried out at the national level, and as much as it tries to plug it into the national initiatives, Bayelsa is also ensuring that it's doing its own part, and that is why we have for us the Kolo Creek gas turbine and station, where we're trying to ensure we have our own generation and our own transmission, our own distribution. And like I had said earlier, the Bayelsa state government has been given 40 million cups of gas per day by the federal government at Kolo Creek. And we understand the implications of that. We know that we're trying to develop a whole state. So our view is, as we've already gotten a concession from the federal government for Kolo Creek, investors willing to invest into Bayelsa State, we are able to work with the federal government to get such opportunities also and licenses given to us in other parts. And if we have that all going, then that will help us begin to get gas plants, power plants, and with that we can begin to power the state. And of course, we are looking, once we develop and we have beyond our capacities, then we can evacuate into the national grid, which is also revenues for the state. So we're looking both at maximizing our rights from the federal government and also doing our own internal generated power.
It's good to have you at the Power Investors Summit. And you shared the transformation story so far in Akwa Ibom State about the issue of power. And there's something interesting you said about the BRAC state. Now, can you shed more light on the BRAC state synergization on power distribution?
Definitely. As you know, BRAC means Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River. What His Excellency, our governor, did was earlier on, even before the privatization process of the industry, he brought his colleagues together. They make a proposal to acquire the distribution infrastructure in those states. And they were told to wait for the privatization process. So while waiting for the privatization process, we formed a consortium called 4Power Consortium. And we bid it among other competitors. And we were able to provide the best proposal to take over Port Harcourt Electric Distribution Company. And that's what happened. So each of these states brought in their core investors. They also put a little money that was allowed by the federal government. So today, the Port Harcourt Electric Distribution Company is owned jointly by investors and the state government of those 4 states.
Now, you talked about the issue of power generation, said over 190 megawatts. Tell us the level of the Ibom power plant so far. You know, this started with the past administration and has been sustained by the present administration. Tell us the level of development so far.
When His Excellency Chief Godswill Pabio came into office, there was a groundbreaking. There was some things going on. I think some equipment were ordered and they were brought into field, but they were not installed. They were not properly commissioned when we came in. But when His Excellency came in, he invested, and today the plant is operating. Even though it's not yet at the full 190 capacity, we have a new group of people that are managing, and we are very proud that the plant is running, and we have plans to make sure it runs at full capacity.